This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Hey listeners, this is Peter and welcome back to the History Shorts. Today's episode is brought to you by the Podcast Republic, your ultimate listening app. Discover and subscribe to thousands of podcasts from around the world. Download Podcast Republic today, available on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Today on History Shorts. In September of 1921, a 16-year-old girl from Washington, D.C., named Margaret Gorman put on a bathing suit, walked onto a boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and was crowned the most beautiful woman in America. She was 5 feet 1 inch tall. She weighed 108 pounds. She had been entered in the contest by a local newspaper. The event had been organized by Atlantic City hoteliers who wanted to extend the summer tourist season past Labor Day. Nobody present that day had any idea that they were creating one of the most watched, most argued about, most culturally revealing institutions in American history. Our history brief today is an excerpt from this Friday's Conversation Series episode and a conversation with best-selling author and historian Harry Sidebottom, where we speak about his latest book, Those Who Are About to Die, A Day in the Life of a Gladiator. A quick word from our sponsors.
Protect your pet with insurance from Pets Best. Plans start from less than $1 a day. Visit petsbest.com. Pet insurance products offered and administered by Pets Best Insurance Services, LLC, are underwritten by American Pet Insurance Company or Independence American Insurance Company. For terms and conditions, visit www.petsbest.com/policy. Products are underwritten by American Pet Insurance Company, Independence American Insurance Company, or MS Transverse Insurance Company, and administered by Pets Best Insurance Services, LLC. $1 a day premium based on 2024 average new policyholder data for accident and illness plans, pets age 0 to 10.
This day in history. On June 10th, 1692, the first execution of the Salem witch trials took place when Bridget Bishop was hanged in Massachusetts. The trials became one of the most infamous examples of mass hysteria in American history. On June 10th, 1944, German SS forces destroyed the French village of Oradour-sur-Glane, massacring 643 civilians in one of the worst atrocities committed in Nazi-occupied France. Story of the day. The Miss America Pageant began not as a celebration of womanhood, but really as a marketing scheme. Atlantic City in 1921 was a booming resort destination. Hotels, boardwalks, entertainment, the particular American invention of the seaside vacation. But the season ended on Labor Day, and the hoteliers wanted the crowds to stay just a bit longer. A local businessman named Herbert Minnick proposed a competition, an intercity beauty contest, as it was initially called, that would draw visitors to Atlantic City in mid September. Eight young women representing different cities and newspapers competed in the first event. Margaret Gorman won. The following year, the contest was larger. The year after that, larger still. By the mid 1920s, it had become a national phenomenon, covered by newspapers across the country, drawing enormous crowds to the Atlantic City boardwalk, producing a winner whose photograph appeared on front pages from coast to coast. The pageant had accidentally stumbled into something that ran much deeper than hotel occupancy rates themselves. It had found a way to stage, annually and publicly, the question of what an ideal American woman looked like. That question, it turned out, was one that Americans could not stop arguing about. The golden age of Miss America ran roughly from the late 1930s through the 1960s. The pageant added a talent competition in 1938, a significant shift that began, at least officially, to frame the winner as something more than just a pretty face. It added a scholarship component in 1945, making Miss America the largest provider of scholarships for women in the United States, a distinction it held for decades. Television transformed it even more. The first televised Miss America pageant in 1954 drew an audience of 27 million people, one of the largest televised audiences in American history to that point. For the young women who competed, the pageant represented something genuinely significant: a scholarship, a platform, a year of national visibility that could launch a career in entertainment, public service, or advocacy. Bess Mayerson, Miss America 1945, the first and for decades the only Jewish winner, used her platform to campaign against anti Semitism at a moment when that required real courage. For millions of American women watching at home, Miss America was also a complicated mirror, reflecting back an image of femininity that was aspirational for some and exclusionary for others. The exclusions were real, and they were written into the rules. From its founding until 1940, the pageant's official rulebook included a provision, Rule 7, that required contestants to be of good health and of the white race. That rule was eventually removed, but its removal did not immediately produce integration. Black women were effectively excluded from the pageant, either by the rules of individual state competitions that fed into the national contest, or by the social realities of mid century America. Until 1970, when Cheryl Brown became the first African American woman to compete at the national level. Vanessa Williams became the first African American Miss America in 1984, a milestone that was immediately followed by one of the pageant's greatest scandals, when Williams resigned her crown after Penthouse magazine published photographs of her without her consent. The handling of that episode, the speed with which the pageant accepted her resignation, the ways in which the institution protected itself rather than her, was criticized at the time and has been reconsidered more harshly since. Williams went on to become one of America's most successful entertainers of her generation. The pageant's handling of her year remains a stain on its record. The feminist critique of Miss America arrived publicly and quite dramatically on September 7th, 1968. While the pageant was being held inside Atlantic City's convention center, approximately 400 women gathered on the boardwalk outside. They carried signs. They threw objects associated with what they called the oppression of women: girdles, bras, high heels, copies of Playboy magazine into a freedom trash can. They crowned a sheep Miss America. The protest was organized by the New York radical women and became one of the defining images of second wave feminism, introducing the phrase bra burning into the American cultural vocabulary, even though no bras were actually burned that day. The protesters' arguments were pointed and specific. Miss America, they contended, reduced women to their physical appearance, promoted an impossible and racially exclusive standard of beauty, and rewarded compliance with a vision of femininity that served male interests rather than women's. The pageant's defenders responded that the scholarship money was real, the platform was real, and that dismissing the achievement of women who competed was its own form of condensation. Both arguments contained genuine truth, but neither fully answered the other. The pageant spent the following decades trying to navigate the tension between those two positions. It eliminated the swimsuit competition in 2018, replacing it with a live interview segment and rebranding itself as Miss America 2.0. It opened competition to married women and mothers. It emphasized talent, achievement, and advocacy over just physical appearance. Whether these changes represented genuine transformation or rebranding without substance has been debated by former contestants, feminist scholars, as well as cultural critics ever since. The pageant's television ratings, which had peaked in the 1960s at nearly 80 million viewers, had fallen to just under 5 million by the time the swimsuit competition was eliminated. Miss America turns 104 years old in 2026. The History Brief. The following is an excerpt from this Friday's Conversation Series episode and a conversation with best-selling author and historian Harry Sidebottom, where we speak about his latest book, Those Who Are About to Die, A Day in the Life of a Gladiator. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss this episode. The video of this conversation, like all others, is already available to our Patreon members for as little as $1 a month. You will also be able to see the video of this conversation this Friday on our YouTube channel.
Why the hell would anyone volunteer to be a gladiator? The poet Horace, the Latin poet, great Latin poet, had a simple answer: because they're morally bad people. There you are. He then elaborates, they're a specific type of morally bad guy. They're young, rich kids who've wasted their inheritance and they've got nothing else they can do apart from become a gladiator or be a carriage driver. I might have gone for that one. It's a safer option. But I think, if you take out the elite moralizing of Horace, there's a point there in the grinding poverty. We tend to forget, with all the marble and the togas and the Roman Senate and the emperors, that 90% of the population were kind of bouncing about on really a subsistence level. You enlist as a gladiator, you will be fed. Okay, the food's this, according to elite writers, disgusting stuffing, bean and barley stew. But you will get your meals a day, you will get housed, and then you have the chance for fame. And gladiators win prizes. You win the bout, you get a cash prize. And also, of course, they don't actually, we think, fight for very long.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me today and helping make this little show such a mighty success. If you're enjoying this show and would like to help with its production, you can always donate a few dollars at buymeacoffee.com or become a Patreon member to enjoy these episodes ad-free. Both of those links can be found on our website at www.historyshortspodcast.com. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all again tomorrow.